Hello everyone, welcome to this episode of Table Talk with the Airdrie Irish, and we got Coach Michelle Jelen. This is a special treat. You're brand new on the staff, so tell everybody about your history with athletics in general.
I think I played probably just about every sport before I played football.
Wow.
In junior high especially, my years there were just filled with sports. I think I made it my goal to just play on every single team, so I did. And then moving into high school, I really fell in love with rugby, actually, of all things. I really liked the physicality of it and kind of the playmaking behind it that I don't think a lot of people actually kind of attribute it to. Other than that, it kind of then was almost like a natural transition into football for me. Just with rugby, I had a lot of friends on that team, and then once I met my best friend in high school, he was actually on our football team, and he ended up kind of dragging me out to spring camp, which I feel like it wasn't just him. My brother was also a big part of that. My older brother, he played for football, like in high school, he started at ND, and then we moved out south, so he went to HTA, but he actually ended up getting signed by the Dinos, and he won the Vanier Cup with them in 2019, so he was kind of a big supporter of mine, and he was one of the only people that was like, no, you should go for it, you should play football, because my mother on the other hand was like, absolutely do not. If I see you on that field, if you ever get hurt, you're not coming back to this house. But he was a really big support, and same with my best friend. They both kind of forced me to go out and put myself out there, and I mean, like, a team of like 50 guys, it was a lot, definitely. It was a big change to get used to, but I was a fan of the NFL, and I loved watching the sport, and I feel like my family as well, they just love the sport. So I grew up surrounded by it, and I felt really safe going to a sport that I felt that I'd already loved. I was definitely scared at first, just because like size, you know, I was pretty tiny back then, and it took a lot to just kind of get myself into a position that I felt that I deserved like a spot on the team. So definitely I worked out a lot, of course, with help from my brother and my best friend, and I started on special teams. I ended up playing a lot of DB. They put me as half, but I preferred corner. And then I eventually got recruited to the offense as well, so I had some plays as wide receiver. But I really fell in love with defense. That was absolutely my place to be. Of course, grade 11, we did lose by 1 point in the city championships. That was definitely, it was a heartbreaker for sure, but it was something to remember. And then my grade 12 year was just like the silly season where COVID hit and we just had practices and no games. I was a captain for practices, so that was cool. But really what it came down to is I just missed the family that we had in the previous year when we actually made it 2 champs. And I didn't get to play much in like university level or anything like that. I did play like with my kind of business team. We had like competitions and we ended up playing ultimate football for one of them. So I was like, yeah, say less, I know what I'm doing here. So that was something nice, but really I just missed being in the sphere of sports in general. But what it came down to is I missed the family that I had found in the football team. And just seeing my brother excel and seeing how happy he was and how much he cared about the sport, that kind of just made me miss it even more. So after cheering for 2 years for the Airdrie Irish, I was more than happy to kind of come on as a coach and start ranting during practices instead of afterwards. Yeah.
That's so cool, and it's cool you come from a football family and they supported you as a player. They're supporting you as a coach, and this is very momentous because you are the first female coach in this league. How do you feel about that?
It was definitely a lot. I mean, Anton mentioned it probably around like 5 times to me in the first phone call that we had. So I know that he's definitely very proud of this as well. But I always felt like football, it was kind of a boys' club. And it was scary to get into because you felt like, oh, if I mess up, they're gonna make fun of me because I'm different than them. And they're gonna think that I don't deserve to be here because I'm the first female coach. Like, I don't deserve to be here just because I don't have the same experience as they do, just with them being a man and being able to grow up more in that sphere than I did. Mm-hmm. But the support that all the coaches, and especially the secondary that I coach, the support that they've given me is just like second to none that I could have ever received. They're so inclusive and so encouraging, and I can't imagine like getting this opportunity anywhere else. Like, I think the Airdrie Irish really do have that culture that make it really easy for somebody who's different and has like really different experiences to come in and excel on the team.
Fantastic, and you've made an immediate impact. Looking at our secondary, it's obviously evolving, it's growing. You're out here at practices, you're getting us whipped into shape. What are some things that you kind of want to focus on with our group, and where do you see us at the end of the year?
I mean, I just can't wait to get outside and start tackling. As somebody who started out with rugby, it's got to be like my absolute favorite. And I remember learning how to tackle and being like, wow, this is a lot more serious than I initially thought it was. And even when I was a fan, like I would be yelling from the stands. I'd be like, why are you body checking him? Wrap up! What are you doing? So I can't wait to just get out and start tackling. And of course, we're gonna definitely dial it up a little bit. I can't wait to see them just evolve. I mean, they're already so good that I can't wait to see where they go from here. But I definitely see us on home turf lifting up that championship trophy. Like, there's just no other way. That's where we're going.
Believe it. I believe it. Ladies and gentlemen, it's been a treat. Coach Michelle Jelen. We'll see you on the next one.